Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm really pleased that rivercruising.co.uk is talking to one of my good travel friends, Joseph Grimley. We go back a long way. We both play the piano, equally as bad. And I'm sure we're going to have a bit of fun for the next half hour as we talk to you about Emerald Waterways and the river cruises that they offer. So, Joseph, welcome to rivercruising.co.uk and our little production tonight. Good to see you, pal.
Thanks, Phil. Hello, and hi to everybody watching. Thanks for inviting me.
Listen, what we're going to chat to tonight, to everybody about, is the ships, the lifestyle, when we're going to be cruising. We're going to be talking about how people can get to know more about Emerald Waterways, aren't we? We'll talk about the lovely crew. Lots of things to discuss tonight. I'm really excited about it. And we've got an offer as well, haven't we?
Well, yeah, we've got an exclusive offer, but we have got lots of offers. So stay tuned.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's going on with Emerald at the moment, Joseph? Anything new happening? I know you're supposed to have a new ship launching this year, weren't you?
Yeah, well, shall I give you a little bit of history for those who don't know anything about us first?
Yeah, go on. Take us back to 2013, because I can remember when you when you joined the market and really took it by storm, didn't you? Sort of like you innovated River, didn't you, with your ships, the star ships.
Yeah, I mean, we started back in 2014. Emerald Waterways was born out of the Scenic Group. Scenic's a big global company now, selling in offices all around the world. Most of our guests come from the UK, Australia, America, and Canada. And our first starship, the Emerald Sky, was christened in Amsterdam by none other than Twiggy, who I think was a brilliant choice because Twiggy's a real style icon. And the Emerald Sky was a real style icon. It's so contemporary, really kind of state of the art, like stepping into a floating boutique hotel. So Twiggy was the godmother. We started off with the Emerald Sky, and then the fleet just sort of expanded over the years. And in actual fact, we have another famous godmother as well, none other than your very own Jill Williams. Jill was godmother of the Emerald Rain, which is our ship on the Douro, and in 2017 she christened that ship, which I think is great. We've got a really good relationship with rivercruising.co.uk. So it's not only Jill that knows all about our products. All of your specialists there, I think, have been on our ships, and they've all got first-hand knowledge, which is absolutely fantastic.
It is. So, it was a good day. Well, it was a good weekend, wasn't it, on the Douro?
It was before my time.
It was a little bit. Yeah, it was. It was fantastic. And you know, what I liked about it was the size of the ship, because the ship on the Douro, the Radiance, she's only 112 passengers, and most of the ships are around about 180 passengers. Is that right, Joseph?
Yeah, 180 or 190.
Yeah. And she was a bit more smally boutique, but fabulous products. Great place to go.
Douro is my favourite river, I have to say. It's just something very different. But we'll talk a bit more about the Douro later, and we'll mention another famous person while we're name dropping, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. What does wrong with name dropping? By the way, if people want to send some questions over, just use the comment thing below. Just drop them in. Ask us anything you want to ask us. We'll try and answer them as best we can.
So yeah, we'll have 9 starships in the fleet when Emerald Luna joins us very shortly. We had the Emerald Harmony last year, brand new on the Mekong, and I think that really sort of shook the Mekong market up, because a lot of the ships on the Mekong are chartered, whereas we had this thing built especially for the Mekong. So it was built in the real contemporary boutique style of our Emerald starships. So yeah, nine in the fleet shortly. We've won lots of awards, so don't just take my word for it. We've been voted 5 years running now by Cruise Critic Best River Cruise for value, our exceptional Emerald, I'd like to say. We're also a Which recommended provider as well. So that goes a long way. If you haven't heard of us before, then we've got very good credentials.
I'm glad you talked about the econ, to be honest with you, because most people have been following Jane McDonald. Seems to be our River Cruise ambassador, doesn't she now? And people are still watching the catch-ups on Channel 5's My 5 player. So if you haven't seen it, get on My 5 player, download the app, and watch it. She's done a great job, hasn't she, in promoting?
She's brilliant. Yeah, she's absolutely great. I think they keep repeating the series. There was talk that she'd finish, but then I think she might be coming back. It's just the public love her. She's just so down to earth. She says it as it is, and she's great fun as well.
Oh, you're not kidding, she is. Listen, shall we just pop we've got a video, haven't we, to show? Which it would be ideal time to put this on, actually. It's only a few minutes, but I think it's worth watching.
Definitely.
Yeah, go on, let's.
Navigating the rivers Rhine, Main, Danube and Moselle, the Emerald Waterways starships can guide you through some of Europe's most magical stretches of water and help you explore many of the continent's most arresting and enchanting cities. Experience the beauty of Budapest and the culture of Vienna. Cologne is one of Germany's oldest and most recognizable cities, and Amsterdam will charm you with its bicycle culture and canal-lined streets. Carrying just 182 guests in comfort and luxury, all Emerald Waterways starships are furnished with state-of-the-art amenities and features. At the very heart of each ship is the Horizon Bar and Lounge, a contemporary space flooded with natural daylight due to the floor-to-ceiling glass windows. Here you can help yourself to complimentary hot drinks throughout the day and watch as some of Europe's most iconic landmarks pass by. Dining aboard offers an endless array of palate-pleasing sensations, from the Reflections restaurant, which offers a collection of highlight dinners, to the chance to dine under the European sky, thanks to the Sundeck Sky Barbecue. There are gastronomic offerings to suit every taste and every appetite. One of the ways we look to bring the highlights of an ocean cruise to the intimacy of Europe's rivers is with our indoor heated pool with retractable roof. By day, you can swim a few lengths or just sit and relax with a book. But in the evening, the pool is magically transformed into a cinema where you can enjoy Hollywood classics or a concert. The Emerald Star, Sky, Sun, Dawn and Destiny all benefit from 72 generously proportioned suites and 20 staterooms. Book the Emerald Panorama balcony suites and you'll enjoy unparalleled views from the spacious private balconies. Or for a truly luxurious stay on board, we have a limited number of owners' suites, which boast a separate sitting area as well as a walk-in wardrobe, a stocked minibar and Nespresso coffee machine. There's no better way to enjoy Europe's majestic rivers than from a beautiful Emerald Waterways starship.
Oh, my days. I've forgotten what it's like.
Get me back on board.
Get on a ship. Oh, my word. I can't wait till we can get back on. It's brilliant. That video is, it's a bit painful to watch at times, but it's beautiful. It just showcases the product. It did make me chuckle when it showed us that picture of Cologne. And I do remember us having a beer in the square at Cologne by the cathedral. I remember that. And half a metre shorter than Blackpool Tower. There you go. Gotta say
that was before the drunken piano playing duet later on, wasn't it? I think
we did enjoy ourselves. We just showed, you know what? We showed that you can really have a great time on a river cruise. Certainly that night. I mean, the passengers and the crew, everyone joined in. We had a bit of fun on the piano and a sing song, and it was just a brilliant night. You know, as it sailed away. But picking up on that video, we've got to talk about one of the things that I was a bit wary of. I thought was going to be a gimmick was the pools, the indoor stroke outdoor pool that converts into a cinema. And I thought, nah, it's, you know, you see the gimmicks on ships, but oh mate, that is not a gimmick, is it? It's fantastic.
It's great. The first time I went in it, believe it or not, it was in December on a Christmas market cruise, and it was like -1 outside, and we were cruising from Amsterdam, and my wife and I went to the back of the ship, and not just the pool, but it's just a great chill out area. It's a lovely place. You know, river cruise ships don't tend to have them, and it's a lovely place to just go. We sat down and started reading our Kindles. Other electronic books are available, and then we just couldn't resist it. We had to get in, so we're there swimming in the pool, and it's a decent size. You can do, I think I counted 8 strokes, so it's not just a splash pool. You can actually swim in it. And we were looking out the back, and you could see the wake of the ship as it's cruising along down. When I say wake, the rivers are flat like that. It's not, you know, there's no motion.
Oh yeah.
But looking out on this frosty sort of vista, and we're in a lovely warm heated pool. It was surreal. It's great. And we actually went there out of the. We're on for a week, and we went there. You know, four afternoons during the week, just to relax, because you've got that great sort of blend on a river cruise of lots of stuff to do, and there's always lots of stuff to see as well. Unlike on an ocean cruise where you're looking out and you can see the sea, or you can see the port, you can see both sides of the bank at all times. So a lot of the time you're up on the sun deck, because that's where you get the best view. But I have to say, lying in that pool, watching everything, watching the world go by, was really cool.
It is. It's a great space on the ship, and it absolutely isn't wasted. You touched there on the views, the 360-degree views that you get on a river cruise that you don't get on an ocean cruise, because you know there's land either side. You know, and I did the 2000 and God, the years ago by, don't they now? When we were allowed to go out, 2018. 2019, I did the trip from Basel in Switzerland to Amsterdam and through the, you know, down the Rhine. It was absolutely fantastic on the castles and through Rudesheim, through Koblenz and things like that. It's just a great thing to do, isn't it? You know, so many towns and villages and cities on a city break, 5-star accommodation.
And when you stop, you've not got to rely on jumping on the bus to take you an hour into the town. You get off the ship and you're there. So, you know, my tip is take the included excursion in the morning, which is quite often a walking tour, or if you're really active, on Emerald Waterways, we've got activity managers on board, so you can go for a hike or you can go for a bike ride. Do that in the morning and go with a guide, and they can show you, you know, the snapshot of the city or town. But then in the afternoon, you can go wandering around yourself, which is cool, or sit by the pool.
Yeah, you know, I like the local markets are fascinating, and anybody who's done the Christmas markets will know what we're talking about. But in the summer, you know, the local markets in the towns, and all around the market, you find the little places to sit and eat and have a drink, and people waiting on you. It's just, you get a chance to soak up all that local culture. It's just brilliant. And then you're only a few minutes walk away from, you know, your 5-star suite or your balcony, whatever it is. It's brilliant.
I remember sitting in a square in, I think it was Rudesheim. My first river cruise was 2007. And it was August, and I was sitting there having a beer with my wife, and she said to me, "Oh, it's a bit chilly. Can we go inside?" And you know, when I'm on holiday, I want to sit outside. So I said, "Well, hang on a minute, darling." Within 5 minutes, I'd walked back to the ship, gone to the suite, got her cardigan, back there, cardigan on her, beer in hand, happy days. You know what? On and off. It's really, really flexible like that.
That's it. The Rudesheim is just ace, isn't it? You can get the cable car, and if any of the ladies watching this, they have my wife, oh my God, spent an hour, they've got a Christmas shop there, haven't they? So that's it. And actually what they have got there, they've got a museum, a music museum, which is really, really interesting. But I advise anybody who goes there to take the cable car up to the top, because the views are absolutely spectacular. It is a top-class place. So when we get back on the ship, what a lot of people do is they go back on the ship for lunch, have lunch, it's included, and they go back out again in the afternoon.
Food's brilliant. Food is fantastic. Wherever possible, we try and take from the destinations that we're in. So if we're cruising down the Rhone in France, a lot of the food will be French inspired. We have some gastronomic cruises on the Rhone, but also what particularly pleases my dad is that we have a classics menu as well. So you can always have good old steak or something like that if you just fancy it, or a burger rather than something a bit more fancy. And it's really casual as well. I think it's great. There's none of this rigidity about having to book tables for 2 or 4 or first sitting, second sitting. It's really flexible. Wear what you want. If you want to dress up on the captain's night, go for it. If you don't, you're absolutely fine. It's your holiday. And everybody gets on really well as well, because it's all English speaking on board. So you might meet a few nice Australian couples or Canadians or Americans and lots of Brits. So we all rub along really well. I like winding the Australians up about the cricket, but
well, you tend to find that the Americans normally go to bed a bit earlier. The Australians stay up late. So you got quite a varied evening. But you're right, the Australians absolutely love talking about the cricket. They love it.
And it's nice on a ship of that size as well. You go on some of the big ocean cruises. I've been on cruises over the years where you meet a lovely couple on your first night and then you never see them again all week. Whereas on a river cruise, it's great because you do get to socialize and get to meet people. And it's what I always find amazing about river cruises is on your last day when you're about to get off, I always see 2 couples sat with one another, and one will turn around and say, "Oh, I love this Danube cruise. I fancy the Rhine next time." And then one of them pipes up, "Oh yeah, we fancy it as well. Do you want to come with us?" And people hook up for future cruises, which is great. You can make some really good friends on board a river cruise.
Yeah, that is a really good point. And you know what? When you get people on, when I talk to people and say, you must go on a river cruise. I bought the company in 2004, and then we started selling river cruises 7 years later. So I already had that passion for the rivers, and I could see where it was going to go. Like we were further behind with ocean cruising than the American market. Same with river. And when I look back to 2011 when we started rivercruising.co.uk, and I think, wow, we got on the ships. We were blown away even then, and now look at where the ships have come on. It's just amazing to see people go on the first river cruises, and then they go, right, where are we going next? We're going to go on the Danube, or on the Moselle, or we'll go on the Nile, or the Yangtze, or the Mekong, or whatever. We're going to France. You've got 3 rivers in France. Well, 4 if you count 2 on Bordeaux. But it's absolutely amazing the choice of cruises. And each river cruise, if you do the Danube, you could do 3 cruises on the Danube and you wouldn't see the same places, maybe 1 or 2 where you start. You go all the way down to the Delta and the Black Sea. And you see, and for people who love nature, that's the most fantastic cruise to do, from Budapest. Beautiful.
I was supposed to be doing that one in 2020, but obviously, unfortunately, couldn't do it. I've done pretty much all the other rivers, and it really appeals to me, the lower Danube. It's supposed to be a bit sort of grittier. You go through 5 different countries, and it's Eastern Europe, and there's a lot to see, and the people are really pleased to see you there, and it's just got a slightly different edge to it. I do fancy that one. I think one of the questions I get asked most is where should I go for my first river cruise? And I always think it's kind of a toss-up between the Rhine and the Danube. The Rhine, you've got the picturesque, picture postcard towns that you sail by with the half-timbered buildings, the spires, and the cobbled streets. The Danube, you've got those iconic cities. Like in 1 week, you do Budapest, Vienna, Bratislava. It's like 3 city breaks rolled into one. So it's always a bit of a heads or tails. But I think if you do the Rhine first, you'll do the Danube next, vice versa. Or just do them both. You can do Splendors of Europe, which is a 15 take you from Amsterdam right to Budapest. So you're going to see the Rhine and you're going to see the Danube as well, which I think is a really good one to do.
Yeah, and you get a choice to go on the main, because that was dug, you know, and the lock system there is incredible. It takes you right to the top and joins the Rhine to the Danube and back down. It's just fantastic. And some of the innovation, even just going through the lock systems, how they preserve the water, is just fantastic to see.
That's another thing as well. It's not just all the lovely picturesque scenery. It's you know, the rivers are working. I'm always fascinated with some of the freight barges that go by with you know, the guy on them that obviously, you know, like a lorry driver sits in his cab, and these guys are on the boat and they've got their car on the back, and then all the freight in the containers. I think it's fascinating.
It's brilliant, isn't it? They go past carrying a load of coal or sand or grain, and then they've got, you know, an E-Class Merc or a 6 Series Beamer on the back, which they just crane off and put on.
Yeah, it obviously pays pretty well, because there's some pretty smart cars on those ships, aren't there?
Anyway, what have we got? We've got some offer with Joseph.
We have, yeah. So we've. I'm just going to look at my notes for this, because we've got lots of offers. So European River Cruises, we've got savings of up to £1,200 per couple for 2021. But what I particularly like at the moment is we're doing the free premium drinks package. So normally on an Emerald Waterways cruise, we will include beer, wine and soft drinks with your lunch and your dinner, which is very nice. But if you get the free premium drinks package, you can basically order anything from the beverage menu whenever you like. So that's great, and that's being thrown in for free at the moment. So that's really cool. That's on 2021 and 2022. We also have a flexible booking policy. So if for any reason you can't go on your cruise, you can push it back to a later date. So we've been looking at that. 2022 again is free drinks package, plus you save up to £1,200 per couple. We've also got, if you book and pay for your 2022 cruise in full 12 months in advance, we'll give you an extra 10% off a middle or an upper deck cabin or suite, which is really, really nice. And we've got an exclusive just for rivercruising.co.uk. We'll also throw in an onboard credit of €150 per cabin. I know that pretty much everything's included on an Emerald Waterways River Cruise, but you might want to go and have a massage or treat you to get your hair done.
Get a haircut.
Should we both have perms when we go on? use that gold credit on a nice perm or something. You can have a shave. You can get a shave. So a little bit of onboard credit is quite nice. You could use it to buy a bottle of champagne or a couple of bottles of champagne. So that's good. We mentioned we do the Mekong. We've also got offers on our Southeast Asia river cruises on the Mekong of up to £1,900 per couple. Again, unlimited drinks as well. So that's I like that one. That ticks the box. We do Russian waterways, which is very, very different. Moscow to St. Petersburg, and we've got guaranteed savings of £1,000 per couple on those. And also, should we mention our new ocean cruise venture, Phil?
I've got no issue. I think you should do. Yeah, I think it's a marvelous product.
We've sort of taken everything we've learned from river cruising, the super stylish ships and the excellent service and the food, and we're building a new super yacht, the Emerald Azura, which will hold just 100 guests. So look out for that, and ask your consultants at rivercruising.co.uk. Also, I think you pop stuff on your website, your Facebook and your website as well about Emerald Azura. But we've got early bird offers on that at the moment. So she's launching a year from now, so January 2022. There's early bird offers of up to 20% discount. And you also get the super early bird if you pay in full within 12 months. So if you book now for next January and pay in full, you will save an extra 10% off selected suites as well. And not only that, and there is more. We also have a flash sale on Emerald Azura, our super yacht, with extra savings of up to £600 per couple. That ends on the 5th of February. So have a look at that and don't miss the boat. See what I did there.
Great incentives, and 2022 is, I think, where the money is at the moment. I think it would be, we can't sit here and talk without, addressing what's going on out there at the moment, Joseph. And 2021, people are always asking us, are we going to be sailing in 2021? The answer is, I think we both know, we hope so at some point, but we just don't know when, do we? And there are flexible policies in place to help people if they're not sure and they want to move to 2022. That's not a problem, is it?
No, I mean, I think at the moment, let's face it, we're all desperate for a holiday, aren't we? We can't go away. We can't go away yet, but it's great to have something to look forward to. And I've been in the travel industry 32 years. I've never seen offers like this. So you can secure your cruise for 2022. You know that your money's safe. We're all fully ABTA and Nuttall bonded. We're a financially secure operation. We're a family-run business. We're not owned by banks or anything like that. So we've got deep pockets. So everything's protected. You've got peace of mind that if you decide for whatever reason that you don't want to travel at any time, you can push your cruise back as well. So that's great. And also cruising is already, the ships are immaculate. If you've been on a cruise, you always see somebody with a bottle of spray and a cloth in one hand, wiping something down, don't you, and polishing. They're meticulous. There's we were the first on cruises to have all these sanitized stations everywhere. Supermarkets have got them now. Cruises have had them for years. We've already been, ultra careful, but also we've redoubled our efforts, and we've worked with an organization called CLEAR, which is the Cruise Line International Association. So we've not worked in isolation. We've all got together with the other cruise lines. We've all talked it through in depth. We've been talking to all the local authorities in Europe and the health authorities, etc. And we might make a few changes depending on what happens. We want you to have a fantastic cruise, and you will do. If we have to have somebody stood behind the buffet serving it to you rather than people just helping yourself, so be it. If we put more sanitary stations on, that's great. Also, we're going to have contactless check-in, and really just make sure our priority is the safety of our guests and also our crew. Our Emerald Waterways family.
Yeah, you know what? And the cruise lines, CLEAR and the cruise line, are always ahead of the game. And if anybody will, get this right and lead the way, actually, in travelling again, it will be the cruise lines. There's no doubt about it. I'm so glad you said that, Joseph. And cruise people know that, and that's why they're all booking. So, well, you're right. My advice is do what everyone's doing at the moment, which is book for 2022 while the prices and the deals are there. Seriously, if you don't, you'll regret it, and there won't be much left. And also, when the market opens up at some point, if it does this year at some point, then there's going to be some great bookings. So you're going to get a double Brucey bonus in effect. It's good. Listen, I think we've got some questions before we wrap up.
Okay.
I think Lewis is going to throw some questions at us. It'd be interesting to see what people are asking. Okay, what river cruise would you recommend for a first-time cruiser?
I would say, I mentioned Rhine and Danube as good first-time cruises earlier. I think if you really like the big cities, the iconic cities, then go for the Danube for your first cruise. I think you can't go wrong. It's a 7-night cruise. Or if you want more kind of scenery, sitting on the deck, watching the world go by, I'd probably go for the Rhine. I don't think it matters which one you do. You will get the bug. And if you did the Douro for a first-time cruise, then great, do that first and then the Danube. You're probably going to end up doing most of the rivers anyway before too long. So which order you do them in, I don't think really matters. What you could do, I didn't mention this. I know there's a lot of ocean cruisers, and I was the same, who was so used to ocean cruising, not sure about rivers. Am I going to like it? Is it the same? You can do a shorter cruise, and we have some taster cruises on for Christmas this year. actually. So we have our 5-day Christmas market cruises. We've got one on the Rhine, one on the Danube, or interestingly enough, one on the Rhone in France. So that could be a good first-time cruise. Just do 5 days.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Martin. What have we got next? Let's have a look. Do you offer any? Oh, here's a good question. This is brilliant. I have a big passion about this solo traveling. Not because I'm single, because I'm not, but I've always had a passion and fight in the corner for people who, for whatever reason, want to travel or have to travel on their own. When you got a river cruise, you're never on your own anyway. But traveling on your own, why would you want to pay double the price? And I remember going back 30 odd years, campaigning in the industry. That's how old I am, crikey. For hotels to have room supplements that were either extremely reasonable or didn't carry a supplement. I remember doing how far back I'm going. Thompson's had a hotel called the Raymar Riviera in Benidorm, and it used to be 90p a night for your single supplement. Crikey, show me age.
Yeah, 1923, Phil.
Let's talk about rivers though with solo travellers. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why solo travellers want a river cruise, because, like you say, it's really sociable. You've got the best of both worlds, because you've got people to mix with and socialise with. But I know a lot of solo travellers, if they live on your own, are probably quite independent and spend a lot of time by yourself. So you can get away from everybody as well and wander around. So it is really appealing. On Emerald Waterways, we have got actual single cabin on the ships. Obviously designed for solo travelers. We do from time to time have some solo offers, so they're kind of a bit ad hoc. You'll see them pop up every now and again. So I think the best thing that your viewers can do is keep in touch with you guys, Phil, at Cruise Village, and whenever we get single offers, we send them across to the Cruise Village. We've worked with Cruise Village since the beginning, basically, and we've got a great relationship. We make sure that you've got all the info to pass on to your customers and our future guests.
Yeah, I think you're right. People who are solo travellers do register with us. You go to our website. You can either register on the River Cruising website or the Cruise Village website. Doesn't matter. But we absolutely look after you, and we send out regularly offers and deals where there's most of the time 0 single supplement, and if there is one, it's marginal, because we don't believe in having to people having to pay extra large amounts of money just because they're traveling alone. So yeah, good question that. Joseph, I've really enjoyed this, and we've touched on some places. I'm glad you mentioned Russia. That is on my bucket list, 100%. Can't wait to do Russia. I'm desperate to get back to the Mekong. I've done that. That blew me away. What a great destination. And also, I think we're going to see the Nile coming back. I think that's going to be really important. We've got one more question before we go. Time for one more. There you go. Joseph.
Yes. I don't know is the answer to that. We will be testing crew, and we will be testing all the guests before they get on board as well, with a proper PCR test, and testing crew. Whether we will be vaccinating them, I guess, I don't know. I would imagine that, just like the UK, everybody has their pecking order of over 80s, over 70s, clinically intensely vulnerable, or what have you. So I don't think that's up to us. I think we will need to ask the question. It's a brilliant question.
It is a brilliant question. You know what? I wish Grant Shapps was watching this, because because that would be, it's a really good question. As we get travel moving, brilliant, and that, because we need to make sure that every base is covered. And it's really important, whatever walk of life you're in, wherever you're traveling in this country or wherever, I think it's important that we've got everything covered off. So, you know what? That is a question because we don't duck anything. That's a question we're going to take away, and we'll ask the questions of the relevant people in the industry, and see what answers we get back. But great question, that.
I think, I mean, if you think about it, if you're booking a holiday or a river cruise for 2022, with the rate that we're going at the moment, we're getting through the vaccinations pretty quickly. So we all these questions are coming up, but it might not be relevant when we get to next year. Hopefully it won't.
No.
I think at the moment we get into a really positive time. I genuinely think there's light at the end of the tunnel for the first time, because you switch on the TV and the media love to sensationalize things in doom and gloom, don't they? And there's so many people in hospitals and whatnot, and it's a horrific thing. But once the vaccinations, once we get to a decent amount of people vaccinated and it starts to make a difference, the balance is going to tip on the scales, isn't it? And then we can all definitely take strides forward and start to look forward to getting back to some kind of normality. But having something to look forward to that's booked, that you can show all your friends and family on Zoom and everything, you hold the brochure up, look, we're going on a river cruise on the Douro, I think is certainly a way of cheering yourselves up at the moment.
I think that's a great way to finish, Joseph. Like you say, my granddad said the same thing. Get your holidays booked, because you need something to look forward to, and never more than now. So, listen, mate, I appreciate you giving your time up tonight. It's very kind of you. And
it's gone really quickly.
It has gone quickly.
5 minutes. Should we carry on while everyone else is gone? I was just getting started.
It's like being back in the pub, isn't it? But it's lovely. But this is what I like about this. I like to get my mates on, and I like to talk to you, and I like to share travel. I like to share experiences, because it's just brilliant, and I really appreciate it. And it's been lovely to have you with us tonight.
Thank you. It's great to be on. Thanks for inviting me. I know we've only scratched the surface, so anybody that wants more information, get in touch with the Cruise Village, because they've got lots of. You saw a little 2-minute video. We've got all sorts of videos. We've got loads of loads of information to send, that they can send out to your email, to you, etc.
And don't forget,
so much to it.
Yeah, and catch up. Jane McDonald, Channel 5, My 5 player. Go and have a look at what river cruising is all about, and join us on the rivers. So thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. Stay safe, please. Be kind, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks, Joseph.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.